I have a problem with this stuff being normalized across the spectrum, and specifically, like, why push this on kids? Why introduce this to kids?
It's better because it's better.
How though?
Yeah, because it's better.
Can you make an argument for
Sure,
it?
because it's better.
In what ways?
The ways in which it's better.
I am a depraved wretch. I am a great sinner. I'm a worm, completely undeserving of any love or any grace. I'm nothing. I'm nothing.
You're incapable of being a good person. You're an evil person. You're a terrible person. At the core fabric of who you are. That's why we need laws. We need laws because we're bad people. All of us are bad people.
You can't spell Pride Month without demon. PRIDEMONTH.
If we don't know who the women are, because they are just people, then we won't be able to pull the women up to equality with men.
We have to try to limit the harm. And that means reducing or keeping down the number of people who transition. And that's for two reasons. One of them is that every one of those people is a person who's been damaged. But the second one is every one of those people is basically, you know, a huge problem to a sane world.
Transgenderism must be eradicated.
Carl, that kills people.
The LGBT, transgender, grooming our children's minds is a national security threat. We need to hold people for treason, start having some public hearings, and start executing people.
This is war. Kill or be killed. Period. End of story.
I will use whatever gives me victory. I don't care about the truth, and I don't care about the law. I care about one thing, the control.
But then they rigged the election, and now we won, so I'm going to be your president.
Then what happened is they rigged the election, and I became president, so that was a good thing.
I agreed with many, many things you said during, in fact, probably more than most other candidates when you were running for president, but I still would not have voted for you because you're an Indian.
I just want to say I feel good about the Republican Party. I feel good about where we're going as a nation. We're killing all the right people and we're cutting your taxes.
It was actually a tremendous blessing to these children for them to be killed and go to heaven and be with God.
How about we all come together and say, let's stop attacking pedophiles?
You can give consent when you're drunk, unless you're all saying, I've been raped and I'm a rapist.
Stop letting people pressure you into thinking.
I want to be ignorant, honestly.
Being a Christian doesn't exclude us from experiencing spiritual dryness.
We're bad people. All of us are bad people.
Well, hello, everyone. Avast, ahoy. Welcome to this piratical attack of opportunity, because, as you may have heard, the great Maya, our wonderful goddess and matron saint of woke bitches, is otherwise occupied this evening. So, of course, as we often do, Maya and I used to do a show together along with a bunch of other ladies called Java and Jugs. And we started it by pirating an open time slot. It was it was when Chris from the Daily Atheist Morning Show took a week off. So we just took his time slot for the whole week. So it's kind of what we do here. Today, I am joined by the one and only Archduke of Radishes. I'm adding to your title here. It is Chad. For those who aren't familiar, I'm going to pull a Maya and make you tell people what you do. So here you go.
I be sailing the high seas of all sorts of skullduggery that happens to go with the Christian TikTok world. Okay, I'll stop. Because that really does do a number on my throat. Anyway, hi, I'm Chad. I'm Arch Radish on all the internets. I was on a little show called Shiny Happy People, Duggar Family Secrets, where I talked about growing up in the same cult as the Duggars of 19 Kids and Counting. And if that sounds familiar to you lately, that's because the guy who started that cult is currently in a coma, and we were all watching with bated breath, waiting to see when he takes his last. Also, I am frequently on Dr. Ben's Trivia channel. I'm also on TikTok at Archradish. I'm on Instagram, Archradish85. Mostly I talk about Christian nationalism, cults, and how great it is to sleep in on Sundays. So that's pretty much what I do.
Hell yeah. And in case you missed any of that, Chad's link is in the description to the TikToks and things. And I've heard that you are known for your love of science. Specifically, you have a scientific experiment that you keep testing day after day to try to get real statistically valid results. Is that right?
Yeah, so I love people who debate online. I love the people who have a wealth of knowledge of the ancient scripts and the ancient languages and rhetoric and everything. And I am a deliberately undereducated homeschooled hick. So what I do is I like to break it down to its simplest components, because I would certainly love to know if there is a God out there, but I feel like an experiment would really show me better than any Theo bro using ChatGPT could. So I have developed an experiment over a long period of time. I've thought about it a lot. I have consulted with others on this, and they all agree it's a pretty damn good experiment. I usually get on TikTok Live and I challenge people to just take a very quick, like only minutes challenge to see if their God is real, if they can prove so. And when they do, when they sign up, I offer them a banana. I have a banana on hand, and I say, I have a banana, and I would rather have a slice of pizza. Can your God turn this banana into a slice of pizza? Normally, I get one of two answers. Well, yes, he can, but, or no, he's not going to do that. And then I'm like, okay, bye. And that's pretty much it. Like, if your God can't do this thing, which I have literally no natural explanation for on camera so I can capture it. And the deal is, look, I'm giving away the farm. It's one data point, but I think it's a pretty darn convincing data point. If you could just do that one little thing, that'd be enough for me. I believe in a God. But hasn't happened yet. So, and I've gotten a million reasons why, none of whom are actually from the God itself. But we'll see.
That's how science works. You just keep doing the thing, and eventually maybe there'll be some data. It's so weird because I hear tell of all these super powerful beings who can demonstrably regrow limbs. In fact, we'll be getting into a little bit of that in a moment, but cure anything, and they can't even turn a banana into. He can turn water into wine. He can turn bread into flesh. And why are you eating the flesh of a guy who's been dead for a what? You know what? Whatever. But he can't turn a banana into a slice of pizza. It's very strange.
Well, and that's another thing, too, that I bring up to people, because they're like, oh, you're just wanting a genie. You're just wanting a God that will do tricks for you. And I'm like, yeah, but how many people pray every day that they'll do well on a test, or they'll find a good parking space, or for, their cult leader that they still follow to recover from kidney failure, things like that. I mean, I would argue that those are relatively minor things in the broad scheme of the universe. Asking for a little thing like a pizza, well, not that big. And pineapple pizza is valid, by the way. I will die on that hill, Aunt Jer, but love you anyway.
Very good, very good. Thank you all so much for joining while we plunder the loot and sundry. It is still technically Pride Month. In fact, today was the New York City Pride, or was it yesterday? Did they do it yesterday? I may be losing track of time again, but it is the anniversary of Stonewall, which is why we do Pride Month in June. So happy Pride. I hope y'all are doing your best.
Happy Pride.
It's
right
it's
at
a
the
rough
wire,
time.
but happy Pride, damn it.
That's right. But we try to help each other. It's what we do. For example, Alira the Free gifted 10 memberships. Thank you so much, Alira. If you got one of those, be sure to say thank you to Alira. Enjoy all the assorted emojis. There's shit tons of them, and they're at least half of them are Alira's fault. And also all the other assorted perks like member exclusive content, early videos, et cetera, et cetera. but also we're still trying to help out a member of our community as well. One moment, please. Words are hard. For a couple of weeks now, we've been, all of us have been trying to do a fundraiser for our friend Miranda, she's been a big part of our communities, lots of our channels for a while. And she's had to go through a lot of surgeries very recently. And as a person who's had to go through very unfortunate surgeries very unfortunately often, I get it. So, I'm so pleased that we've helped them meet the initial goal. We've helped them meet the first stretch goal. Now because the original goals, this doesn't cover all the expenses, not even remotely close, but it's something. And so we're still trying. It's currently at 85% of the third goal, which is really fucking cool because we've already completed 2. That's honestly, it's going better than a community fundraiser I've seen go in a very long time. And I'm very glad for all the people who've been participating. But I do want to put it out there for anybody who isn't familiar, and just sharing the link. It's pinned in the live chat. It's linked in the description. If you can help out, please do. And if you can't, sharing the link helps. Getting other people to put it on their shows, that helps too. It's one of the best things we as humans do. Another one of the best things we as humans do is send a super chat like this Arch Radish fellow who sends $10 and says, you can't spell Pride Month without demon. Demons are just that awesome. Fabulous even.
Right? It's funny, like when I heard that in the intro too, I was thinking, well, you also can't spell American Dream without Eric Andre. So, take from that what you will.
Like the Bible, it's open to interpretation.
Also, demons are kind of lazy. They really stopped bothering me when I stopped believing in them. I'm not sure if that's it's like a correlation or a causation, but more testing required.
Yeah, I feel like Christianity should come with like one of those side effect labels, like, loss of 10% of your income, potential antisocial behavior, and could be afflicted by demons. Like, all of these things only seem to ever affect, well, okay, not just Christians, but it's pretty much always it's
people who believe in demons. Yeah. Or just people who believe in demons overall. If you believe in them, somehow they're a big factor in your life. Weird.
Yeah. I wonder, because there's the Christians who don't believe in demons, who look at the Christians who do believe in demons and go, well, you only think it's affecting your life because you believe in demons. And yet they don't seem to connect the dots with the believing in God working exactly the same way.
Always like, you're almost there.
Yeah, it's very strange. But today we're doing pseudoscience. And while God stuff is often connected, because again, fundamentalists, once you disable your critical thinking capabilities, you become vulnerable to all sorts of nonsense because you can no longer think critically. Have you heard of Jilly Juice, Chad?
I have not. But it sounds like something I've had in a certain corner of my spicy bookmarks that I have under a password. So, yeah.
Oh, no. I mean, I'm sure Rule 34 applies, but yeah, I hadn't heard of it either until a few days ago. The delightful, wonderful, knowledgeable, beauteous, and otherwise magnificent ruler of asteroids, Jess from Canada, told me about it. And seemed astonished that for all the digging into conspiracy theories I've done over the years, I've never heard of the damn stuff. Well, it's probably because I don't watch certain television shows, or really any television shows. So here's a quick primer.
If you take my Jilly Juice, you can live to be 400.
Is it a miracle cure? Do you believe if you had an arm cut off, you could drink this and it would grow back?
I do.
Or an outrageous... That's just ridiculous.
That's your opinion.
That's right, folks. It's a magic drink. You can live to 400. You can regrow arms. It's magic.
Okay,
apparently.
already this video is magical because I will contend that this video actually foretold what would happen to the reflecting pool. Like, that was the exact shade of the damn reflecting pool in that jar right there.
Probably, yeah, for sure, for sure. Andrew says she was a YouTube sensation before Dr. Phil had her on. Apparently there was, I tried to do a little background research. Her channel got deleted a long time ago.
Can't imagine why.
But, right? But she's like tried to rebuild her presence on Facebook, where the easy to scam people hang. Okay, in fairness, that's also kind of TikTok, but details. So like what astonishes me is that in this clip, Dr. Phil is kind of the voice of reason. He's like, this is ridiculous. If you get Dr. Phil to call your thing ridiculous, you done fucked up.
Mm-hmm. Well, okay, but what does Dr. Oz say about it? That's what I'm interested in. Like, we all know he's legit. Sorry, I had something in my throat there.
Yeah. It sounded like you were starting to have a stroke or something. My goodness.
A little bit.
Oh.
Not again.
Yeah. Let's see. Ed the Rabbit Atheist says, I'm going to just say, if you are going to be juicing, when you use carrots, make sure you circumcise them first in honor of Fangs. That's fair, because Fangs is, of course, the cuddliest of all the deities who don't want you to believe in them. That's a
circumcised carrot, though. Like, what? How do you circumcise a carrot? I have
the same way you circumcise anything. You nip the tip.
Good to know.
Yeah. It makes
I wouldn't know anything about that.
10% holier.
A chosen carrot. That would make the carrot the king of the juice. Hey, okay, that's the second time I've used that joke this week.
Why does this keep happening?
It's weird that it happened twice.
Indeed. Oh goodness. So this is Jillian. Oh shit, what's her name? I looked at too many things today, as you might expect. Jillian.
Jillian Epperly.
Yes, there we go. Jillian my tie.
I believe. THI tie. It could be my tie. I don't know.
Named for a beverage. I'm sure it's fine. Anyway.
No, that's scientific fact.
Dangerous scam.
You're giving this to your children?
Yes. You are preying on desperate people. Some of them are dying.
Jillian says she wants me to try Jilly Juice.
All new Dr.
See, it's the reflecting pool.
It definitely is. Well, we know who did it. So someone called Cash Patel. It was Jillian Mai Tai.
That is
here the reflecting pool.
Okay, I grew up in the quiverful movement. I grew up around a lot of babies, and I have seen that exact shade and that exact consistency of that liquid in a lot of nurseries, and you don't want to know where it came from.
Oh no. Yeah. Now that you mention it, I can't unsee it.
Nope.
No.
That shit looks foul. And his face did not look pleased to be sniffing it either. I'm just gonna put that out there.
I can imagine. It's pretty special. Dr. Phil, not renowned for his scientific rigor. YouTube sensation, obviously not exactly high. I mean, the flat earth movement got most of its momentum because of YouTube. So, there's that. But what about an actual investigative news reporting team? Well, good news. We have one of those.
News tonight, some people swear by it, others say it can make you really sick.
Yeah, we're talking about the cabbage juice cocktail. A local woman swears it can cure everything from the deadliest diseases and actually reverse homosexual behaviors.
Wait, hold up.
What?
It cures the gay.
Well, it reverses the gay. I'm not sure what that means.
So it makes other people of the same sex attracted to you? I don't get that.
That would be interesting. That they, you know,
Wait, does this milkshake bring all the boys to the yard?
Oh no.
Wow.
Nobody. I realized Dr. Ben was in the chat earlier. No one tell Dr. Ben about this. Because I can just see this being like the new twerkathon drink or something. It reverses. Like, how does it like?
Well,
does it make
okay.
Trans? I don't
know. Okay, so this could be like what they talk about when people are born again virgins. If it reverses homosexual behavior, then anytime you've ever had homosexual sex doesn't count and you're a born again virgin. Because of cabbage. We did
Cabbage will do that. I've heard. Another thing that can be cleansing to the soul is a gift membership from Alira the Free, who gifted 20 more memberships. Thank you so much, Alira. Just kind of what do you call it? Pressing a crew into service?
Yeah, I would say so. A press crew or a I don't know, if you've been waylaid or if you've been like mutinied. Who knows?
Well, all right, I hadn't meant to take a break this early, but Alira sent a fantastic video. It's been in the inventory for a little while. I've played it a couple of times, but it's just so perfect. We don't do mutinies. We do cutinies.
Like the flag, me hearties? Hoist your own at astralpride.com. Pride on the mast, chaos on the sea. The queer pirate fleet sails fabulous and free. Hey, girls, hey. Heave, girls, heave.
That's a real thing too. You can get this background and also a whole bunch of other Pride related stuff at astralpride.com. That's why Alira sent it to me. It's also it's a better fit for vertical feed, but it's fine. It's fine. I hope you all enjoyed. Oh goodness.
All right, so now anti-gay cabbages. That's
right.
That's where we got into.
I'm wondering, like, is it cabbage or like if you have lettuce, does it undo the effect of the cabbage? Because cabbage is like evil lettuce, right? That's how that works.
Cabbage is cruciferous, and you know what? That could be it. Because it's cruciferous. Cruciferous sounds like crucify, so it's definitely the more Christian vegetable.
There we go. Oh no, we're juicing Cabbage Patch Kids. It's
which, ironically enough,
well,
ironically enough, my old cult leader thought each one of those was infested with a demon. So yeah, I mean, it all comes full circle, really. Kill the cabbage, save the Patch Kids.
But I thought they didn't like abortion. I don't understand these people. My goodness.
That is a good point. If you chop up cabbage, are you not taking out an unborn Cabbage Patch Kid? We've had a lot of laughs, but think about that, folks.
I guess it depends on whether it's fertilized. You know, like a chicken egg. If it's not fertilized, you're not actually killing a chicken. It's just an egg. If it's not, how does one fertilize a cabbage? However, that leads to all
13-year-old me could have answered that.
Well, okay, yeah. Oh, goodness. Alira's like, good night. Good night, Alira. All right, let's see. Maybe there's more news on the, I don't know.
Claims are raising eyebrows, including that of the state's top cop, the Ohio Attorney General. See, New Yorkers here.
Like, it's just, it looks so much like sewage. I could see RFK Jr. drinking it, but like, I can't imagine anybody else is up for it. I don't get it.
It feeds the brain worm. Okay, by the way, can I just say that this right here is what pisses me off about the news? It's like cabbage juice debate. No, there's no debate here. Like, someone's selling bullshit, and we are now talking about people who are saying nuh-uh and yeah, you know, that's not a debate. That's like, you know, someone did something stupid and we're going to talk about it.
Yeah, it. Oh my goodness, that happens so often with the false legitimacy of things. You know, people going, "Oh well, the climate change debate." It's like all the scientists versus one dude, or the Jewish question. It's like everyone versus the Nazis. You know, it's not actually a debate. It's just one asshole versus everyone who knows what they're talking about. Rar. Andrew says, I hadn't heard the reverses homosexual behaviors before. I don't even know if it said behaviors, just it reverses the homosexuality. It's very strange. But oh my goodness.
Gay backwards is yog.
There's a lot to be said. What's that?
Gay backwards is yog. So the active ingredients.
So, Yahweh's brother Yog is backwards. So actually, considering the God in the Bible, very evil, loves to kill babies, slaughters people, women or property, all the horrible things, endorses slavery, like every moral evil you can think of, that God's in favor of. So it's actually Yahweh, Adonai, whatever you want to call him. The Gnostics were right. He is an evil God, but his brother Yog wants to reverse everything. So maybe we're discovering some new spiritual science here, or I did it. Okay, I called this episode Pseudoscience Sunday because it's a pseudo version of Bad Science Sunday while Maya's at work. And not to worry, this show is in fact goddess approved, but also because we're covering pseudoscience, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to stick to provable, demonstrable facts ourselves. Probably. Maybe. We'll find out.
You know what? I feel like with all the theological implications we've come up with, we should call the line and make a case for a God based on Yog. No. Don't do that. Don't do that, people. Unless I'm on, then it'll be hilarious.
It could be very funny.
Yeah.
They're getting answers for us.
Tiffany and Chris, it's called Jilly Juice, and the woman who created it tells me she's not a doctor.
Okay, hold on a second. Her handle, she's got her title and thing on. That's fine, but her handle is TV News Lady.
What? You're talking about Jilly. Oh, no. Oh, this is okay. So TV News Lady. You know what?
Yeah.
Honestly, that's good foresight. If you can snatch that up very soon, like, you know, the first person to get it, you have a guaranteed career from there.
Or you could sell it and retire. I don't know. It's very strange. This whole story is very strange, and we haven't even really gotten into the story.
There are scientists, but she does believe her juice can reverse certain ailments.
The state attorney general is investigating the beverage. We can't even call it a soft drink because it's not just cabbage juice. It's fermented cabbage juice.
Okay, hold up then. So how is this different than, say, sauerkraut or kimchi? Like, both of those are literally just fermented cabbage.
The magic ingredient, which is the high quantum frequency salt that you use, probably.
First, that makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yeah,
kimchi's not salty at all. Yeah, so this is a secret ingredient.
Yeah. It's fucking weird. Like this resulting drink, it's salty and it's rotted waste material. I'm having trouble finding a distinction between this and urine therapy, you know?
Well, at least urine is fresh typically.
Well,
That's
that's
how I know
the
that.
thing is, okay, so a few weeks ago, Maya had a urine therapy episode on the actual name brand Bad Science Sunday. And I believe I was the guest on that one. Why does this keep happening? In fairness, this one I kind of did to myself, but I was inspired by people from beyond the stars. But that's neither here nor there. A lot of them will like store it in a jar and let it ripen, sometimes for months.
That's like urine mead, I guess. I don't know.
Urinade. When life hands you urine.
Sorry, I can't come to the phone right now. I'm urinating. Urinate with that fresh 3-month-old aged taste that you love.
Oh, goodness. We should patent that now because you know it'll go right through FDA approval.
So have you ever seen that guy, the vaccine police guy?
I don't think so.
Yeah, he's a guy who rides around in like this really shitty looking Mustang wrapped in a wrap that says vaccine police, and he goes in and hassles a bunch of businesses. He actually lives like literally down the road from me, and he recently started doing the whole urine therapy thing. And when he did, that guy got the worst case of jaundice I ever seen in my life. So the few times I've had the misfortune of being like in the same building as him, I try to stay well the hell away because I'm like, he's probably not taking a bath either. Let's just be perfectly honest.
You don't want to wash off that premium urine. Holy crap. Or not crap. The other thing, in fact, but oh, wowzers. Anyhow, I really want to see what Dr. Phil actually had to say about this. So here's a clip from the Dr. Phil episode in question. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, tell me it doesn't look just like a jar of urine.
Picture, if you will, the Kool-Aid man filled up with this shit, busting through a wall. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Why? How does your brain conjure these things?
It's just, yeah.
Where does that come from?
Look, my brain is diagnosed as being really weird. So, yeah, that's like the first thing I think of when I see this. I'm like, oh yeah, Kool-Aid man would love this. Not sure where that came from, but yeah.
I mean, it is a bell jar, or is it yeah,
oh,
it's not a bell jar, it's a ball jar. That's
ball
it.
jar, yeah.
My grandma used to use these all the damn time, but I haven't seen one in years in person, so it's yeah.
I used them for my apple pie moonshine. They're good stuff.
Okay.
So you ask people, this is 2.5 cups, and you want people to build up to drinking a gallon of this a day.
Right, because the thing is, people.
A gallon. Folks. I have one of the finest water filters available on the planet. I don't run ads for them anymore, but I still don't drink a gallon of water a day. A fucking gallon. Holy shit. I don't think even my water and coffee together. Goodness. Do you drink a lot of cabbage juice, Chad?
Not lately, no. I mean, back in my really bad bachelor days, yes, but as I mellowed out, I do like the finer things like sweet tea and other beverages that have probably been in my fridge way too long, but never cabbage juice. Pickle juice, yes.
Oh yeah, pickle juice. I mean, you have to be careful about the salt, but so good.
Die happy.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is probably like very high sodium as well, especially if you're drinking a gallon of it.
That's one of the main complaints. Is it's not even the rotting vegetable matter. It's the salt is off the fucking charts. It'll just blitz your kidneys. It's fine.
Are very malnourished. What's going on is you're so immunocompromised, you're not absorbing all the nutrition. That's why you see mutation from people. And so
you're immunocompromised, so you're not absorbing nutrition, and that's why it's a mutation in some people. Like, she's spouting bullshit faster than she can even finish a sentence. That's kind of impressive in a way.
Also, she's pissing off Magneto, and you got to be very careful before you start doing shit like that. I mean, the Brotherhood of Mutants will get on your ass about that.
It's true. And why the fuck? Okay, so Magneto's right, obviously, but why do they still call themselves the Brotherhood of Mutants in the year of our void 2026, and they've got women on the team, and probably, I'm sure, I haven't read the comics since I was a teenager, I have to confess, but probably non-binary mutants too.
Very much so. Well, because Jack Kirby and Stan Lee, bless them, they were both old, out of touch white guys, so that's why.
We're here from the Brotherhood. We brought our sister.
It's mostly just Mystique, honestly.
Yeah.
And Mystique arguably a bit non-binary because she could be anybody.
Gender fluid, I dare say.
Very gender fluid, yeah.
Literally, she is gender fluid as a mutation because, like, it's literally all her presentation. Like, her presentation changes. That's what that means. Yes. Megan Fox says the Sisterhood of Mutants is a separate group.
Have traveling pants?
Perhaps. Ooh, maybe they do Irish dance. If they're mutants and their mutant powers help with dance, can you imagine Nightcrawler dancing? He'd be all over the floor.
Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, I can see that techno thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Boomps, 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 boomps. Does he run out of energy? Like, does he have like teleport particles or something that he depletes? I hope not, because he would run out quick.
My understanding is that he's driven by his mutation and Catholic guilt.
It's a bottomless well, yes. Yikes.
when you actually fled your system, you're actually feeding your body what it wasn't ordinarily getting, because you're being undermined by parasites, you're being undermined by all the different toxins that are attacking you at the cellular level.
So here's the protocol. The jelly juice, 2 cups a day, work up to a gallon.
Yes.
Diet, which is certain raw nuts, seeds, oils, certain...
Oh, so there's a whole thing. It's not just the goo. You gotta eat them nuts. Get them nuts. Raw seeds, oils, certain fruits and veggies, but also certain meats. So how do we know the juice has anything to do with it if there's a very strictly controlled diet? And also the healing management, prepare for pain. That's like the biggest warning label ever. Prepare for pain. It's like what a manic torturer would say. One of the Spanish Inquisition guys who can't wait to just hit you with the burning pokers. Prepare for pain.
No, I got it. Okay. So Jilly Juice is the new WWE diva, right? And that's like her catchphrase. Whenever she's doing like mic work and all that, she always ends every call out with like, "And this Sunday, prepare for pain." When the Jilly runs her juice all over you. Actually, I need to workshop that slogan as well, because that could go a lot of places.
It's true. We do actually keep something like that around here. I usually save it for the counter-apologetic stuff, but we do have something along those lines.
Are you about to engage in blasphemy?
Love it. Also, and look, I'm not saying this about Jillian's like inherent appearance, but the makeup job, is that like a proto like Trump girl thing going on? Because I kind of feel like, there was a little bit of that like what we would come to see as the Mar-a-Lago look later.
Oh no, not Mar-a-Lago face.
A little bit.
It needs to be studied, as they say. Noise Ending says, I want to know what purge mutation refers to. Yeah, that's at the bottom of the list here. Is purge mutation. Which mutation and how? I'm very curious. Let's find out. Maybe we'll find out. No idea what's going to come out of this woman's mouth.
Fruits and vegetables, yes.
Certain meats, healing management, prepare for pain, manage, change the juice.
Somebody remind me, like, in a few days to clip that. Prepare for pain.
About purge the mutations. So you acknowledge that they're going to feel really not great when they start drinking this.
What I'm acknowledging is that we're redefining the role of pain in our world, because what you do with pain right now is you squelch it with a pill, powder supplement, or opioid.
Okay,
right?
you're saying they're not going to feel well when they drink this.
So if we just change what we mean by the word pain, then you won't be in pain. But you could do that now, right?
As a chronic pain sufferer, fuck this person.
Right? Well, you're just not drinking enough spoiled cabbage juice.
No, I don't want to make myself actively feel worse by drinking, cabbage dookie. Okay, let's be honest here.
For real. Oh my goodness, I get people all the time. They're like, "What? Why don't you just like walk it off?" I'm like, "Never mind that I can barely move, but okay, did you go outside, get some fresh air?" I spend more time outside than most people do. Like, come on. I got to get that vitamin D somewhere. I could get supplements, but I'm poor. So I won't. Sunshine's free, folks. When you can get it.
They're going to feel healing.
I assume you have pictures of people that have regrown arms and stuff.
Absolutely not, because I haven't gotten that far. I've only been doing this for a year.
So you don't have.
Okay.
Hold up.
So people apparently are posting pictures about regrown arms, and she's like, no, because I've only been doing this for a year.
I haven't regrown an arm. Okay, hold up. She did say that we would purge mutations, but if you were to regrow a limb, wouldn't that be kind of mutation adjacent? I'm no doctor, but it seems like being able to regrow things is kind of a mutant ability for humans.
So it purges mutations, but it gives you Wolverine powers. I'm getting mixed messages.
This feels like the secret of the ooze.
This is how you wind up being a turtle.
Cowabunga.
Turtles drink cabbage juice. What's that?
Like Teenage Mutant Jelly Juice.
Oh no. Oh no.
And we're copyright struck.
I've seen proof in smaller experiential
That's not
circumstances.
relative. You either prove or you don't.
No, proof is not.
Do you have any training?
Hold on a second.
Do you have any training?
I have enough training
What
by
is your
looking
training?
at the internet and actually taking information. Right. By the internet, actually.
This is before AI, right?
I have training. I have enough training because of the internet. But oh my goodness, like not only that, but when the audience laughs at her, she's like, right? Like she's just kind of like
nailed it.
Is it a whoosh? Is she just immune to shame? Does she see ridicule as approval? What the hell is happening?
I'm pretty sure that like most of Dr. Phil's audience, like his core audience, would probably be like, yeah, that's right. That's that internet thing that's on computers now, right? My grandson does it.
Maybe that's how like the Dunning-Kruger people end up in these positions, is because every time people tell them, bestie, that's a terrible idea. It's very dumb. Don't do it. She's like, you're right. I should do it more because it's clearly because you said that it's an even better idea than I thought, because I know better than everyone and I know not to trust experts. I've been watching YouTube videos.
Ryder Albert, no, she's not a graduate of the University of YouTube. I would say that she's actually a graduate of the University of what was that service? Like Vimeo. like the even worse version of YouTube.
Oh no.
Or you know what? Oh, what's that one that Rumble or whatever the hell?
Oh fucking hell. Oh
Yeah.
goodness. So when I first started on YouTube, I ended up making a Rumble account because Rumble had this neat feature where it will automatically like duplicate your YouTube videos like a day or two later. And I'm like, this will make a great backup. I was not familiar with the kind of audience that Rumble keeps.
Yeah, I imagine your comments were great. Like nothing problematic
I just
at all.
ignored it for 6 months, and then I went back and looked, and I was like, "This is more toxic than Jilly Juice." I didn't even know what Jilly Juice was at the time, but I'm like, "This is just my goodness." I need to drain this.
Megan Fox, also the hub actually does have educational material on it. Like, you know, it's not as sketchy as YouTube and everything too, which that says something about where we are as a society.
It's actually true. I've had to look there for like information about surgery post-operative care. Like the fact I have to go to that kind of website to find legitimate information because it's blocked everywhere else by the purity police. We're kind of cooked, folks.
Yeah, and this is where people find this is on the internet, right? Do you have any biochemical training?
No, absolutely not.
No medical education or degree.
No.
You have no medical license.
Nope.
You have no scientific studies.
Nope.
You have no clinical studies.
Nope.
Human studies, animal studies.
No. Do you want to see what they left behind? Do you see?
No, not even animal studies. She's just like, we're just doing it. We're just going on vibes, folks. If you believe, it has a 50% higher chance of working.
I too have none of those qualifications or any of those studies, so I kind of feel like I'm in the wrong career. Like Dr. Phil's never interviewed me, thank God. And and I too have none of those qualifications, so something's wrong here.
Like I keep saying, like I don't know what it is. Maybe it's our social programming, maybe it's our indoctrination, maybe it's the way we were raised, or the circumstances surrounding, grew up in the wrong social class or the wrong connections, wrong side of the tracks, you might say. But like we seem to be insisting on doing everything the hardest possible way when you could just be full of shit loudly and get on Dr. Phil,
Also, a little bit adjacent to that, when Shiny Happy People came out, I had to run like every podcast or interview that I had by Amazon for their approval for some reason. And I finally was like, screw this, because they were taking forever. I was like, hey, can I just go on people's stuff that I know that they're cool? And they were like, well, okay, you can do like smaller podcasts, but if Joe Rogan asks you on, please let us know. And I'm like, trust me, Joe Rogan will not have me on ever. By my choice of nothing else. And I don't particularly want to talk to Dr. Phil either.
It's valid. Oh my goodness. I don't know. There was a time when I might have been willing to talk to Joe Rogan or something because it'd at least be an interesting conversation, if not terribly productive. Because it seems like you can't educate that man, If he asks you questions about your specialty, if he said something like, Ember, tell me about the structure of photons at the subparticle level, we could talk about it, but then the very next show, he'd have Stephen Meyer from the Discovery Institute on to tell him that light doesn't actually exist. It's an illusion created by God to trick you into thinking the universe is more than 6,000 years old.
Honestly, I think the only interesting question he ever asks is, have you ever done DMT?
Oh, fucking hell. Yeah, I don't really watch him. I
think he might have hung up a bit there.
Oh, my internet's being glitchy. I don't know why.
Uh-oh.
Theoretically, we're good, but I keep seeing blips. Anyhow.
Your friends and family dying of cancer, disease, and chronic illness. Is that what you want?
your claims are.
Never mind the science, never mind the tests. Do you want your friends and family to die of cancer?
I mean, some of them, yeah.
Drink my juice or your children will die? That's
Is the juice in the room with us right now?
Like, my goodness. I mean, okay, so back in the day, there's a term for this sort of thing. It's a snake oil salesman, you know? Back in the day, there was this dude running around selling snake oil as a cure-all. You know, it could regrow arms, it could cure cancer, it could do this and that. Even that guy would never be like, buy my product or you want your children to die. What the fuck? But also, technically, argument from consequence. The fact you don't want your children to die does not mean the spoiled cabbage juice does any good. Fucking hell.
You see, this is like the underlying machine behind every con. I talked about this in a video one time I did with Sydney about how to spot a cult, the musical. Like, this is classic you got trouble, my friend, stuff from the Music Man. You know, it's like, your kids will become corrupt and moral after school unless you put them in a band. You know, like, you really don't. There is a pool table in your home or in your city that's going to corrupt your children unless you do exactly as I tell you. Like, Bill Gothard did the same shit. He's like, oh, your children are going to end up immoral. Your children are not going to live their best life for Jesus Christ unless you follow every single thing that I give you. Like, the whole thing about putting the consequences out there, some people do it more subtly than others. This is just tacky. This is not even like artfully done. This is blatant.
She didn't go to school for marketing either, so,
Yep.
we got Music Man lyrics.
Trouble the capital T and that rise up P and that stands for pool. Make blood boil, what I should say.
Harold Hill's gonna save the day. Oh no, it's been a long time since I did that show. My goodness. That was like 2 years after. Yeah, that was like my second or third year of doing musical theater. My first show was Hello Dolly, and I can never forget. It was so many tangents. This is why we have the tangent emoji here on this channel. That's what it is for, because we are prone to tangents. Me especially.
Almost as if we have like ADHD or something. I have all 80 of them.
All right, we'll go a little bit further with this fella, but I do want to show you guys some other stuff along these lines. Actually, you know what? We should get into what the fuck this stuff actually is, because, like, so she calls it Jilly Juice. Now, it should be noted that that's not a new thing. She says that she named it after herself, Jillian, whatever, but there was already a Jilly Juice. And so she immigrated to the US at the age of 2 years old in like 1977 or something like that. But she's originally, and her parents are also from Vietnam. During World War II, in the South Pacific, in the area of Vietnam, the US sailors had a drink called torpedo juice. And goodness, it's a whole thing. So they needed lubricants for the torpedo motors. And sometimes, like, the fuel was alcohol based. They were run by like a weird steam engine contraption sort of deal. So they would like take the lubricant and the fuel and rig up like custom distilleries and shit to try to get like alcohol out of the fuel, because they're sailors and they can't fucking resist. So they called it torpedo juice initially, mixed in World War II. It's made from pineapple, grapefruit, and orange, and the 180 proof alcohol by volume grain alcohol, the fuel the United States Navy torpedo motors used. Various poisonous additives were mixed into the fuel by the Navy to render the alcohol undrinkable, and various methods were employed by the U.S. sailors to separate the alcohol from the poison. Now,
that's the history of humanity right there. This thing will probably get me high and or drunk. I will figure out a way to consume it.
So they still make variants of this, but they invented what they called these portable stills. These improvised stills were called Jilly stills, spelled with a G, not a J, but the resulting alcohol was known as Jilly juice. And they drank it while stationed near Vietnam. And so here comes this immigrant from Vietnam who's like, oh, I've invented this thing called Jilly juice that'll like cure everything. No, you fucking didn't. You didn't even make up the damn name. But her thing, it is quack medicine. It's a form of, to be clear about what it is a fermented drink that is falsely claimed by proponents, all three of them apparently, to be able to cure an assortment of health conditions, including cancer, autism, as well as regenerate missing limbs, reverse or slow down the effect of aging. You can live to 400 years. We know because we've only been testing it for 1 year. And to cure homosexuality. None of this has ever been proven. However, I will say that given the fact it is extremely toxic and some people have died of like kidney failure and such, it is, well, let's just say, if you're dead, you're technically cured of everything.
I mean, cancer and autism famously like caused by the same things. Clearly this juice treats it. Water, salt, and room temperature fermented cabbage or kale. That's it? Like legit?
Yeah, it's what, well, it's not just salt. It has to be pink or sea salt. So it's and I guess the kale is like an optional whatever. Just whatever. But yeah, you put it all together in a blender, puree, and then put it in a glass covered with cheesecloth. Don't seal the glass. Put a cheesecloth over it, and then leave it to ferment at room temperature for 3 days.
Yeah, there's literally nothing that could actively infect this drink or get in. Yeah, that's. Yep, no questions here.
It just.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, but like how though to generate limbs? Like I don't even see how. I can understand claiming that it cures cancer, autism, the gay, and everything else that doesn't have like a physical appearance to it. But regenerate limbs is a bit of a stretch.
So writer Albert says if it was called a torpedo juice, I may have misspoken. I'm bad at words. Torpedo juice decades ago, it sounds like it would cause homosexuality, not cure it. And that's, as longtime viewers, first of all, if you're new, please take a second to hit the subscribe button. It helps ever so much. I normally do slightly more sane shows, but sometimes we do fun ones like this. So you never know. So subscribe, join us for all sorts of goodies. I've been doing a lot of intense research into intersex history, specifically how intersex people have been viewed across time. And I've come across so many interesting tidbits. One of them is that in the time of Plato, it was generally held that humanity came in 3 sexes: males, females, and heterosexuals. Because sex isn't your anatomy, it's what you do with your anatomy and how it relates to your partner. It's why the noun sex is related to the verb sex. So Plato wrote down in Symposium that original natural males are attracted to other males, and natural females are attracted to other females, and that's right and good because they can understand each other, they know what each other like, and they can treat each other right. But there's this weird deviant flavor of humanity where males and females are attracted to the opposite, and that's the queerness, that's the unusual aspect. And he went through and he created a whole huge philosophical backing to justify why we shouldn't treat these deviant straight people as weird outsiders to be shunned and ostracized. Because he hypothesized in Symposium, he had one of his characters hypothesize that originally humans had like two bodies, and the males who are split in half are attracted to other males because they want to find their other half. This is where that phrase comes from. You got to find your other half, The females who are split in half wanted to find another female so they'd have their other half back. But the mutant humans, the intersex people, had a little of each. And when they were split in half, they became attracted to the other because their original body had both. See?
So basically, Plato was the original ally, but for straight people.
Yeah, he was sticking up for the poor, unrepresented straight people.
Oh my god.
Back then, we actually did need a straight pride parade because they only made up about a third of the population. And it's not just Plato either. Like, we can see it reflected in so many writings from that time that the default setting for most people was homosexuality, and you only engaged in heterosexual activities for the purpose of producing heirs. It was gross and no one liked it. Possibly because, if a man has never been with women, he's probably not going to know what to do with women. Just saying. You think the straight guys today had trouble finding the button?
I don't think they cared about the button at that time.
It's a whole thing. But yeah, I love the story. Again, tangents, I know. Because it shows a shift in perspective, right? It isn't just intersex people were viewed differently at that point in history. The entire way society viewed sexuality and our own concept of gender relating to sexuality was entirely reversed. Your sex was predicated on your orientation, not your orientation based on your anatomy and your attraction like we do today, which is kind of weird, It's fun.
But you know what? You know what would cure that? Chili juice.
I'm sure it would.
If we all took chili juice, we'd all,
everyone
we'd all be
become
freaks.
One of those, possibly. Oh goodness. All right, let's take a quick break. And in our little dividey moment here between topics, it is still Pride Month. This show is still sponsored by me, actually. It's me. I do this. So enjoy this quick moment of capitalism. In 2024, NASA researcher Rachel Lenz gave the world a flag made from NASA images for Pride Month. On January 20th, 2025, the incoming U.S. administration ordered that Artistic Union of Science and Civil Rights deleted. So I tracked down the original images it was made from, recreated it, and then added even more wonders of the cosmos to update the flag to the current, more inclusive form. On the anniversary of the inauguration, I released it. And it went viral several times. Now you can get a physical copy of that artwork as a full-sized flag or a large sticker, as well as space artworks of the other Pride flags: lesbian, gay, bisexual, trans, queer, intersex, ace, and new flags being added all the time. Get one for yourself or give them as gifts, and celebrate Pride, celebrate science, celebrate resistance. and help support a creator fighting for human rights for all humans. Head to astralpride.com. And thank you, Aunt Judith, for dropping the link. Of course, it's not just gay Space Pride merch. It's also queer space pirates and lesbians in space and like all sorts of things. And there's clothing too. I didn't wear the clothing today because I wanted to be like a different flavor of festive since we're pirating Maya's show. But still, there's a bunch of goodies. Do check it out. We're also, don't let me forget, folks, I have another thing, a completely different thing to mention before the end of the show that both Chad and I are going to be involved in coming up, like in a month. Most of you probably already heard, but I want to make sure to mention it. All right. Have you heard of snake oil, this cabbage thing, this Jilly juice? It is kind of snake oil, but it's weirdly even more deadly. It turns out we still do snake oil today. This is a short video, so we'll just do this.
And it's a really good day to be doing any type of protection and warding work. I love working with snakeskin because snakeskin is very protective, transformative. So when you use it in your work, you are given an extra oomph, right? I particularly make it into an oil, and what I do with the oil is that I add it to my floor washes. I anoint my spiritual tools, my windowsills, my doors. Your mirrors should always be cleansed because your mirrors are portals, right? I particularly love it also in my candle work because it gives it that extra oomph, that scorpion energy, right? So you can
the scorpion energy
from the snake oil.
About to say that's not how snakes or scorpions work, but I guess let her cook. Also, last time I tried to anoint my spiritual tool, they were like, "Sir, this is a 24E, and you need to like maybe do that at home." And I was like, "But everybody else here is naked." Anyway, the point is, I'm no longer allowed there, or Denny's for a different but similar reason.
Sir, this is a Wendy's.
Yeah.
No anointing your serpent here. Oh, goodness. It's very unfortunate. All right. Let's learn a little bit about where the fuck the snake oil thing came from and all of that. I'm sure it'll be educational, probably.
Persist or perish. Persist or perish. It goes so hard, dude. Okay,
this guy's got Sam the Snowman facial hair.
He does have Sam the Snowman facial hair, and it's on point. So what's it? Charles Stanley, right?
Clark Stanley.
Clark Stanley. Okay.
Yeah.
Clark Stanley. We're beginning with a very well-educated crowd. Just so we're clear. But they have notes, so it's okay.
Clark Stanley. So Clark Stanley, he's significant. His nickname is the Rattlesnake King.
Sick.
So sick.
We also have merch for that.
The Rattlesnake King. So here's his story. In 1879, he spent 11 years working as a cowboy before this. So he was up to
working as a cowboy.
Yeah, so he was a cowboy.
You know, in the legendary words of the prophets Brooks and Dunn, you should have been a cowboy. You should have learned to rope and ride.
About swinging a 6-shooter and riding your pony on a cattle drive?
Stealing the young girls' hearts, just like Gene and Roy.
Oh, yeah, singing those campfire songs.
Should have been a cowboy. You know, when I was little, my little brother thought that Brooks and Dunn was Garth Brooks and another guy. I'm sure he wasn't the only one. I don't know.
Well, he was born in Abilene, Texas, but he moved out to Walpi, Arizona, where he studied under medicine men at the Hopi tribe. Is it Hopi or Hopi? Hopi? I think it's Hopi. The Hopi tribe, learning their medicinal techniques.
As a person who famously mispronounces everything every day, It's fucking Hopi, and you can look up how to pronounce things if you aren't sure. Now, when I come to like individual people's names with 400 syllables, I'll just take a swing at it. But like when you're talking about an entire nation of people, I don't, you know.
And take a little time on that.
Yeah, also, it's 4 letters. It's fine.
One job, 4
Okay.
letters.
And it should be noted that leading up to this
You know, random again. I know I'm prone to tangents, especially when we're so chaotic today. Cognitive tests have been in the news recently, and the main one that seems to be administered to the president of the US most frequently, it has some interesting bits in it that don't get brought up all that often. For example, a lot of people see the first page of the thing, which is like, can you name these animals? Can you draw a clock at like 10 after 11 or something? Can you connect these dots that are clearly labeled? All this sort of stuff. Page 2 is my personal favorite. It contains a thing called the F-word test. You have 60 seconds to name as many words as begin with the letter F as you can think of. What could possibly go wrong?
Yeah, I was about to say. I don't think you can spell the letter F, first of all. But when they point him in the right direction, yeah, it could go off the rails quickly.
Yeah, it's pretty neat.
Point in time, there was a large immigrant population from China who was working on the railroad, helping build the railroads across the country.
Okay.
And they had brought over with them from China a classic Chinese remedy called snake oil. And this was an oil that they took from...
Got it. Okay. Okay.
This was an oil that they took from Chinese water snakes, and they would use it to relieve joint pain. And so they would rub it on their joints after a hard day's labor, and working on the railroad, obviously a physically intense job, and they would share it with them.
We've heard the legends of the ancients who have been working on the railroad all the livelong day.
Just passing the time away, though.
It's
oh, David Outcast does in fact win. I think that qualifies. That's also my morning affirmation.
There's supposed to be different words, but I did not specify, so that's on me.
That's my morning affirmation. I get up and I say that every morning. It makes me feel better.
Fair enough. I curse at myself other times. My most common is damn it, Ember. I stand up, I go out my bedroom door, and I have already forgotten my coffee cup. Damn it, Ember. And I go back and get my coffee cup.
You can turn that around, though. You say, damn it, Amber, I love you. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel weird about that. Although, you know, I could... Kids used to make fun of me in school for talking to myself. I only found out just a couple of years ago that I'm twins, right? Like there's this thing that happens in a surprisingly large percentage of the population where instead of one fetus splitting into two embryos become one fetus. So I actually could be talking to myself because I'm two of me. Kind of.
As long as it answers, you're good.
It's fun sometimes.
Other railroad workers, and it became pretty popular among railroad workers. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you got to try the snake oil stuff. It works. It really works."
And that's what their company was called. Was It Works.
It works.
And I've done a corporate event for them before, and I do feel like if your name has to be It Works, it doesn't signal confidence. You know.
There is actually a company called It Works. I'm sure he's alluding to that, but yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. It's very strange.
I had friends who used to sell for them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Their decorations are very strange as well.
I was noticing that. Like, is that like a generic couple that was left in the frame? Because I see the barcode, like right there in the white frame above, and then
Okay.
not sure what the Norwegian thing is. The
So they can
violin.
row.
Oh, good point. And then the violin is definitely not a Stradivarius. So yeah, I've just been distracted by all the stickers on that guy's laptop mostly. I see Bucky's and Blink 182, but everything else is just kind of jumbled.
Okay.
So every time he starts talking about Snake Oil, I'm like, okay, but what's that sticker though?
And in fairness, I also have a number of stickers on my own laptop. Not that many.
Oh,
but if
same.
you want stickers, whether for your laptop or otherwise, you can get these at astropride.com. They're as big as my damn hand. Big stickers, high level of detail, including the big old pirate flag behind us. You can get every kind of well, not every kind of pride flag. There's like 130 fucking pride flags, but over a dozen different kinds of pride flags, including the main pride flag in both space and nature versions, and the queer space pirate flag. And the stickers are a lot less expensive than the full-size flags because they're stickers, but they are big stickers. So if you want to decorate your laptop with some pride, that's one alternative. Margie asks, are you a chimera like I am? I am. I am indeed. There are actually a couple of different ways that you can blend DNA between multiple what's the damn term? Different genotypes. You can end up with multiple different genotypes. There's mosaicism, which it's complicated, but one of the more common ways is a single zygote has an error in duplication early on in the process, and you end up with different genomes, but it starts from the same original genome. Chimeras are when you get fusion. Well, okay, in fairness, that's a special type of chimera. It's fusion chimera. It's probably the most common kind, but we don't know for sure. There's blood chimeras, which is when you're twins and you don't fuse. If you're non-identical, so that you have different genotypes, sometimes stem cells will get exchanged between the embryos, and so you end up with bits of each other's tissue. And the same thing can happen between a parent and child through the... Almost everyone has this one. If you've ever been connected to a placenta, you probably have a little bit of the person on the other side of the placenta's cells in your body somewhere. They're detectable, like indetectable quantities decades later. So probably almost everyone is a chimera. I'm actually doing a video specifically about that because so many people have so many questions. Stay tuned for that and make sure you're subscribed. I'm just
Also,
plugging
Amber,
all the
are you
things
saying that we
back.
contain multitudes?
We do. We am legion, for we is many.
It's like calling a restaurant. It's good.
It's good.
You guys want to go on that? It's good.
Is it?
I don't know.
I don't know if I trust that.
I
It's
want
in
to
the
call a
name.
restaurant
It's in the
past
name.
health inspection.
They couldn't put it in the name if it wasn't true.
We passed the health inspection. That doesn't signal.
What do they serve there? It doesn't really matter. They passed the
passed the health inspection.
It doesn't really matter. You can't complain.
I see he's got a pizza slice on there.
Did it pass health inspection?
Maybe that may be why God hasn't been able to do your pizza slice miracle, because he's got it there.
That's a good point. I mean, that's just
Can't
science
rule it
right
out.
there, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah. Observational science, folks.
Yeah.
So Clark was working as a cowboy. He hears about the snake oils being very successful.
Yeah.
And so he moves to Walpi, Arizona, and he finds the Hopi tribe. And he says, can you teach me about snake oils? And so they say, yeah, we use rattlesnake. And so we juice the rattlesnake and get the oil.
How do they do oil?
You kill the rattlesnake and then you put it in a vat and you burn off the oil on it. So like boil it and then
Really?
juice the oil out of the boiled liquid. Yeah.
Wow.
And so, yeah, you're not juicing it. The snake would probably bite you, and rattlesnakes are killer. So you don't do that. It is the official position of this podcast to not try to juice a rattlesnake.
I have a question.
Have you ever tried to juice a rattlesnake, Chad?
No, I have played with a ball python in recent history. but I have not milked a rattlesnake. I do have some friends who have done so, but not so much that. I have a question though. Did he say that this guy saw the Chinese immigrants using snake oil and then went to the Hopi tribe to like fucking figure it out? Because that's two completely different people groups.
He may be confused about things.
I bet.
I mean, also you don't actually juice rattlesnakes. That's how you end up with a mixture of snake oil and jelly juice, is if you juice the rattlesnake. It's actually called milking, and it's generally done by specialists, but you can technically do it yourself. It's just really, it's tricky. So yeah, do not try at home. Unless of course you have been touched by the Lord and you believe in the book of Matthew that it will not harm you, and even several of those people have died, so apparently they weren't true Christians. But you know, the most famous among the creationist shysters running around the world right now has been bitten by a rattlesnake, and it turns out after 3 excruciating days, the poor snake died.
Yep. And Mark Driscoll still lives.
Yeah. There's a lot of unfortunate consequences like that, but you know.
So he studied
In
under them for
fairness-
2 years.
Okay.
I can't really blame God. I wouldn't want that guy around either. I'd be like, nope, you're staying down there. No,
Yeah,
you're not coming in.
They taught him everything they know about oiling snakes. Or
Yes, yeah, sure. Don't just push through. Tell the story. Don't worry about how you said it. It was dumb. Keep going. We've already established we're dumb.
And so then he learns everything he knows about, and he starts making snake oil. He goes up to Boston, and he learns under a local Boston druggist.
A druggist?
Yeah, I know that sounds like a crazy term, but that's what's in the article that I read. They called him a druggist.
Oh, he read an article. Amazing.
I've known people
That was
being
a
called
legitimate
druggists.
term. Yeah, it's so it's what you might be familiar with as an apothecary, right? It's a person who handles the compounds and chemicals and the mixing and such, because medicine was a little bit different in the 19th century. There were physicians who did like the actual doctoring, and there were surgeons who did the slicing and dicing. We still have that distinction in medicine today. Surgeons and medicinal doctors have to do much of the same overlapping study, but they're not even entirely just different specialties. They all have subspecialties like heart surgery and neurosurgery and bone care and kidney care and so forth. They all have different specialties, but they're like different branches of medicine. Now we get the idea from evolution that they used to be one doctoring, and then they split off into specialty groups and then subspecialties, but actually they were entirely separate professions. And it was only in the 19th century that surgeons were trying to prove their worth as equal to the physicians, that they could be academic and write papers and do science and do more than just slice and dice. Because for the longest time, surgeons were held to not need to be especially bright. They only needed a steady hand. And that's important too. It's very important. But the point is, apothecary was separate from physician in the same way surgeon was separate from physician. It was a different profession, and they just worked together a lot. And in some places and sometimes they called it a druggist.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that term. I've actually read books before, unlike apparently these guys. But that's the whole thing. Also, by the way, surgeons eventually did get that respect, and then Ben Carson came along later and completely destroyed all that. So, yeah.
I've heard that rumor. In fact, I recently heard someone point out that because Ben Carson posted a caricature of Ben Carson on Ben Carson's own Twitter, and anyone who puts a caricature of a black person on their social media is racist, that Ben Carson is himself racist.
Wow.
I can't I can't
Inception.
say that that's necessarily wrong, though, because he does hang out with a lot of white nationalists.
And he also believed that the pyramids were used to store grain.
Oh, my.
Yeah.
Oh, my.
You know it.
Yeah. Margie points out surgeon and barber used to be essentially synonymous. Yeah, a lot of you couldn't make a living as a surgeon. So you made a living as a barber and you surgeoned on the side in most towns and villages.
I've had pieces of my ear cut off before, so that makes sense.
Yeah, those straight razors are very sharp.
Sure.
Which I don't know if it's a legitimate thing to call somebody, but
because he wasn't a pharmacist, I guess.
Yeah, and he wasn't a drug dealer. Somewhere in between.
Somewhere, okay.
Yeah, it's like a less than legal pharmacist, but not illegal. So he's a druggist.
Sure.
And so he taught him.
Yeah, like I said, there weren't like licensed pharmacists at the time. It was a whole thing. So this was a period in history when your physician would say you have ghosts in your blood, you should do heroin about it. But the druggist was the person who actually gave you the nice, fresh heroin.
Yeah.
I'm all about marketing medicine because at the time, marketing medicine was a weird thing. This was pre-FDA.
Yeah, which we've talked about in our dental episodes.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
This was pre-FDA. So
what was that guy's name that kept teeth? Just search tooth necklace dentist and I'll guarantee you'll find it. I got to teach you how to Google search stuff because you couldn't find any of the characters in Rudolph.
Tooth necklace dentist came up with a bunch of necklaces for sale. And yikes.
They may be more prone to tangents than I am. That's kind of
I was
impressive.
about to say.
Like, the fuck are we talking about? And this is an edited show. Like, these shows are live, and so tangents just happen. But they edited this. It's not necessary. I don't know.
Like gold tooth necklace.
Oh, good.
Yeah, this did not work the way I think you thought it was going to work.
Old time dentist
history.
Tooth
necklace. Brief history. The most outrageous dentist. Here it is. Is it going to get us the name? Painless Parker.
Painless Parker.
Yeah, that's right. Painless Parker.
There we go. It took me a second, but I got a skinny guy on the right. Parentheses hot.
Skinny, annoying, but hot. Painful procedures. They were doing shock therapy.
Right, and this is another thing too. Is like relative to human history, this is not that long ago.
Yeah.
This is not that long ago.
Yeah.
And that's what I thought it was crazy. I got a filling done. It is insane. Insane.
We're still on dentists. I've skipped ahead twice. My goodness. This is what I get for not previewing the episodes all the way through.
I'm from Utah could be on TikTok and be like, oh, actually, the anesthetic they give you at the dentist is actually really bad for you, and you should be drinking raw milk. And if you just chug a gallon of raw milk, you're filling your teeth all day, and it won't matter because you're dead.
I almost put a raw milk segment in this episode.
Now we
it's
have
really
one.
bad news. Yeah. I'm like, it's a whole thing in and of itself, because there's like, honestly, I may need Dr. Ben on the crew for that one, because so many of the proponents just spout off all kinds of medical sounding jargon, and I've looked up some of it. The reason I didn't is because it takes too much research. We'd be doing like homework half the damn show, because some of these guys, like, they'll be like decaquantinomial polypeptides, and you're like, okay, what the fuck is that now? And then we have to go look and explain why that's actually an all milk, or a pentadeca carbide polyunsaturated fat thing. Like all these fucking terms, and some of them kind of apply, but most of them are very badly misapplied, and it's just a whole thing. And all of it is just a smokescreen for the fact that raw milk is not pasteurized and is full of bacteria that will kill you. Like, not everyone will die, obviously, but like, not everyone who drinks fermented cabbage sewage dies either, but that doesn't mean it's a good idea, Shit.
Well, raw milk. Do you know what else raw milk proponents spout up? Their lunch. But yeah.
Yeah. Frequently. Remember,
Hysteria,
there was
baby.
that thing in the news recently about politicians who passed a bill legalizing raw milk, and to celebrate, they all drank raw milk, and they all got food poisoning. immediate, like from that celebration.
I used to drink raw milk quite often when I was in Belgium because my mom was on that kick and you could sell it over there at the farmers markets. And yeah, I started getting stomach problems when I was in my teen years. Wonder how that happened.
I can't imagine. And it's not that the milk itself is unholy or unhealthy or whatever. Although pasteurization also increases digestive ease because the proteins are already denatured and require fewer enzymes to break down into usable nutrition. Whatever they tell you about the lipid concentrations and whatever the fuck else is in milk, you don't actually use the things. Your body breaks down the molecules and they get rebuilt into your molecules. So it's very silly. But it's not the milk itself. It's the bacteria and shit that pasteurization exists to kill that are still in there. Rawr.
You know what I'm talking about?
Because you're dead.
Like it's so crazy that like 1879, there's no regulation on anything. They're doing incredibly painful procedures for every ailment.
Yeah. And here's the thing about medicine at the time.
Well, they were also more free with the painkillers. So a very painful procedure, your total pain experience could be less because maybe they're slicing open your appendix with no anesthesia, but they also gave you heroin about it first. So you may be conscious instead of knocked out, but you also don't care, you know?
Also, if heroin wasn't readily available, I just happen to have like just on hand an old timey painkiller as well. So
yeah,
there you go.
I mean, it has double purpose. You can sterilize your razors and scalpels, and you can help with pain killing.
Like it was very early, like in terms of like actual discovery of the things that worked.
Right.
But there were procedures that they did actually work. They just didn't have anesthetic. So they were incredibly
painful.
painful.
It was super drunk.
Yeah,
they would pull your
bite
tooth
down.
out. I was actually thinking about that. I was talking to Reagan. I was looking at, she got a couple paintings in the house of, prints of paintings. We're not rich.
Yeah.
But,
God damn it. That video didn't want to pause. When were anesthetics discovered? Now I'm curious. When were
I think they've been around a while.
anesthetics invented? Okay. Invented 1846 by a dentist named William T.G. Morton. Oh, there's another one. 1842, an American physician named Crawford Long performed the first painless surgery in 1842, although he didn't publish until 1849 because unlike those crazy dentists, he cared about academic rigor, probably.
Was early anesthesia just basically bonking people on the head? I mean, what the...
Yeah. Oh no. Another dentist named Horace Wells he tested nitrous oxide on himself in 1844, but when he tried to do a public demonstration by using it to sedate a patient and then perform a painless procedure on him, it didn't work. It failed to sedate the patient. So there's that. I hate when that happens. Like, oh my goodness, it's a whole thing. But yeah, so that's there we go. It's actually not long after this period of time, you got the snake oil people, and then immediately after, we're inventing anesthetics because we're tired of the snake oil, probably.
Also, that patient that didn't respond to the anesthesia, you know what would have helped? Jilly juice.
I'm sure that the Jilly juice would have just cured what ailed him in the first place, and he wouldn't need the surgery or whatever. My goodness.
It's like all these old paintings, no one's ever showing their teeth.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh,
that's because they don't.
It's probably because everyone's teeth were either gone or bad.
Yeah.
Like Mona Lisa's not smiling because she doesn't have teeth.
Yeah. She doesn't have teeth.
That's not entirely without merit, but also painters, especially, you know, Renaissance era and old master style, they study anatomy. So even if you don't have teeth, they can paint teeth in, you know? It's a thing they're capable of doing. But whatever. You don't get a lot of teeth in photographs, possibly for the same reason as portraits, because if you're sitting there for a portrait for a long period of time, you can smile at first, but after a few minutes, it gets unpleasant. And after several hours, nope. And that's the same reason old photographs, everybody's like looks miserable because the shutter speed on old cameras was like 10 minutes. You couldn't hold the smile for 10 minutes. The best you could do was a neutral, relaxed expression and try not to move because you'll blur the photo, you know?
Also, some painters
No,
didn't
think
have
about it
teeth.
for real.
What's that?
Also, some painters didn't have teeth if they were painting watches, but yeah.
You know, I was learning the other day, another tangent. People do come here for the tangents. If you're down for tangents, make sure you're subscribed. But there was a grave found in Germany. An ancient warrior who turned out to be a female, and so the patriarchy went fucking nuts. But her front teeth were like really, really ground down. And I don't know that she was a painter necessarily, but that made me think of all the painters who would like stick the paintbrush in their mouth to like sharpen the tip to get the bristles back in order, or would hold the other end of the paintbrush while they adjusted something else because you don't want to set the paintbrush down if you're still using it. And there's a whole bunch of different things that go in your mouth when you're, you know, a crafty person.
Know what else can go in your mouth? Chili juice.
Yeah.
True. And if she did, they were gross.
That's what I'm saying.
The Mona Lisa's got bad teeth.
I bet all of their teeth were disgusting.
Yeah, because they didn't brush.
They couldn't.
They didn't brush. And yeah, have you felt teeth that haven't been brushed lately?
And like, if it was hurting, they just pulled them out.
Yeah, they just ripped them out. And they probably were rotting a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
They'd bite into an apple and then it'd just be gone.
I don't know. Maybe, am I wrong? Like, did they have dental practices? Did they, like, am I wrong? I don't know.
I don't know. I actually don't
know.
But
When you look at the dentures that George Washington had, that's horrifying.
Yeah, true.
You
That's
know?
crazy.
And it's like, dude, I don't know, man. This seems like, the fact that you can just.
So another fun fact about at least the early American dental system is that most people of means just had all their teeth preemptively pulled around age 20 because tooth problems are so painful and so common. It was just better for overall outcomes to just pull all your fucking teeth and wear dentures your entire adulthood. Not only would they be prettier, but you wouldn't die of a tooth infection if you don't have teeth to get an infection. The fancy
This
folks
is why
had
we are
several
fearfully and
dentures.
wonderfully made.
Yes, it's evidence of the intelligent, perfect design by the all-knowing creator.
Here's my question. Why do sharks get unlimited teeth and we don't? That's bullshit right there.
Right? My goodness.
Yeah,
That's crazy that we were able to.
science.
And I want to scream into the void when people are like, oh, yeah, it's all big pharma. And they're all again. It's like, oh, my gosh, man. People don't die at 5 years old anymore.
Yeah. It's crazy.
People used to have 12 kids. Half of them died.
Yeah, they had to because they were all going to die.
Half of them died.
It was a numbers game. It was like say.
I mean, they're making a joke out of it, but it's kind of true. And we're kind of getting back to that. We're making America great again. Because all the diseases, the super preventable stuff that we've largely eradicated are coming back. You know, we've got measles outbreaks left and right. We've got whooping cough is making a return. All sorts of shit that should not be happening because people have no education and they went to YouTube University like Jillian, you know? It's really unfortunate. But even high-class people, even wealthy, privileged people. Remember, Abraham Lincoln lost half of his children in childhood. Only one of them made it to like full adulthood. And it's not funny, but it's kind of funny in a weird, you're cursed by history sort of way. before the Kennedy assassination, there was a person who was present at every single presidential assassination. It was Todd Lincoln.
Yep.
Every president who was killed, he was there. Now, in fairness, McKinley didn't die because of the assassin. He died because his doctors sucked at their jobs. After he was shot, the lead round was still lodged in his guts. It would have been bad, but it wasn't going to kill him. But the doctors insisted on removing it because they didn't want to leave a lead round in his body. So they shoved their unwashed fingers into the wound, and he died from the resulting infection. It was before washing your hands became standard because of Christianity. It's
Should've
true.
Just flush it out with Jilly juice.
They could have done that. My goodness. It's fucking
right?
wild. Yeah. But like, Moses told the ancient Jews, the ancient Israelites, wash your damn hands. You must purge the uncleanliness. Jesus comes along and is like, sure, Moses said that, but I say we will mark ourselves as separate from them because we will not wash our hands. Of course, still wash your feet, but don't wash your hands. And so no one washed their hands in Christian lands until it was either Pasteur or one of his contemporaries, asterisk. It was like, it was germ theory, really. It was, hey, maybe the pathogens killing all our patients are on our damn hands because we're handling corpses and then going directly into surgeries and maternity wards and things. Maybe we should wash our damn hands. And suddenly, death rates dropped. People didn't want to go to hospitals because the doctors would fucking kill you.
Was it that Ambrose Pare?
That rings a bell.
Yeah.
Those Ambroses. Ambrosias, perhaps. I don't know. It's getting a little late here on the East Coast, folks. But not to worry. Jess is here. The person to blame for this entire topic. If you're just joining us, we were talking about Jilly juice earlier, and we've been going through other assorted pseudoscience. Now we're ostensibly talking about snake oil. How did all these snake oil things, how did they get started? We're trying to get to the basis of it. But these assholes are off on something about dentists and shit. It's true we have pirated Maya's time slot, but it's all good. Maya approves. I have a note from the goddess herself.
We have a memo.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
That's like the whole, that's what I'm saying. You got to shoot for 12 so you can keep 7 by the time they get older.
I mean, yeah, exactly. 100%.
And now we don't have to have 12 kids. I'd rather have 2 kids that I can really take care of.
Yeah. Yeah. And know they're going to survive.
Oh my goodness. Yeah. Anyway.
Again, it's an edited video.
Although I do have to disagree with him. The Bible says you should have your quiver full. That's why you need to have 19 kids minimum.
19 and counting, you might say. I had a question about that the other day. There were some people. It was a show on another channel, so I won't get into the extreme details on it. But
sure.
It was about parenting biblically, or more precisely, it was a couple of deconverted people talking about parenting before and after. And so, because I've never been a Christian myself, I'm like, I want to understand biblical parenting. And one of the questions had to do with that quiverful verse, how it talks about let your children be like arrows in the hands of a warrior. Does that mean I should shoot my children at my enemies?
I mean, honestly, if you have like one of those t-shirt cannons, you could fit a newborn in there. And I think you can get some pretty good range.
Yeah. I mean, the wind resistance isn't great. The aerodynamics they're not very well designed for that either. But
well, they have that swim reflex though. Like, yeah, they'll like push themselves through the air. It's fine.
The wiggle effect. Yes.
You just have to wait 9 months to reload.
Oh no. Well, you I don't know if you've been around many infants, but babies bounce actually.
Yep.
So you get a
That's
ricochet
true.
effect, and you if you can get your ammo back, you might be able to reuse it. I don't know.
Well, and as we all learned from the protests and everything, rubber bullets are safe.
Uh-huh. Ay ay ay. Damn it.
Over the Chinese water snake, the oil that they got from it was high in omega-3. And so you rub that oil on, it actually
Okay, we're finally back to snake oil. Hooray, progress.
does help your joints feel better. And so it soothes that joint pain. But rattlesnake wasn't high in omega-3. But anyways, and so there's things like that different tonics and elixirs and things that they were selling at that time, they had some kind of are you looking to see if your Celsius has omega-3?
There's no omega-3 in this.
This is why my joints hurt. Celsius, there should be omega-3 in this.
Ow. Ow.
No, they had no idea what the fuck omega-3 was at the time. So they couldn't exactly like test to make sure stuff had it in it. Not that anyone was interested in testing anyway. But yeah.
Oh, my joints hurt because the Celsius has no omega-3.
Do those special K bars that you bought for our studio have omega-3 in them?
They might.
Old person snacks.
And so these things were actually helping some people. Coca-Cola started as like one of these elixirs. It wasn't a beverage that you drink. It was a medicine. And so people drink it because
NyQuil started the same way.
Really?
Yeah, it was a medicine.
I'm pretty sure. Maybe it's the joke. Maybe it's just my tism and
That's
I'm
the
missing
joke.
it. But I'm pretty sure NyQuil still is a medicine.
It is. He's joking about drinking it to get drunk.
Yeah. It's but people still use there's still a market for Coke syrup. Like not the pre-mixed soda, just the syrup. My grandmother used to get it, and apparently it's not as much of a market because all the old people who knew how to use it died, but it still exists because people still think of it as a medicine. So yeah.
And now it's just something I enjoy with a cigarette at the end of the night. Smoking's cool. And I've just a whiskey glass of NyQuil.
NyQuil. I will say there's a warning on the NyQuil I just bought because if you listen to the last episode, I'm getting over sickness. There's a warning label on the back that says, "Parents, know your teen," and it talks about how your teen's probably getting drunk on your NyQuil. So
parents, know your teen. Your child might try to use this to see the Hat Man. You saw him.
The fuck are they even talking? I don't understand. It's probably fine. Listerine, that's a fun one. That started as a floor cleaner. And you can still use it that way if you really want to.
Everything's a floor cleaner if you're brave enough.
Well, I suppose that's true. Or you can clean your teeth with anything if you're brave enough. Why not? Why not both? Every mushroom is edible at least once.
Too, right?
Some too, right? What? So he goes and he learns all about the way that these elixirs and tonics are being sold. And the way they're selling them is very clever, honestly, because this is a time where there was no radio, there was no TV, and a lot of people, especially in the American West, lived in towns where there was no theater. There was nothing to go do except for church. And so they're
very much like Kansas today. My goodness. Those poor people
Alabama,
in Kansas.
I feel it.
Yeah. Play,
there's
damn it.
nothing interesting happening in your life.
And that's why they thrived. That's why this country did so much better than, because now we got all these kids' sports taking the kids away from church.
It's because of flag football.
It's because of flag football.
Flag football has made our country so sinful. So they would go across.
See, that's a cut. They edited it. They can edit. Whatever. I'm so hung up on their weird
The
production.
Patreon version has the unedited flag football rant.
I've heard that if you drink Jilly juice, it reverses flagness, probably.
I'm not even touching that button.
It's
I am
probably
not
wise.
qualified. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit, and maybe we'll get to some history of how the freaking snake oil thing actually happened, like we've been trying to do this entire part of the segment. But first, I promised a thing that both Chad and I are doing coming up soon. As soon as I find the damn button, where did it go? Why are all my videos in weird places? Ah, that's so rude. It's around here. It's around. There it is. Okay. Enjoy.
What I couldn't see. Yeah, I advise thee. You can do that easily. Proclaiming lineage from scripture. Avadi my head. No. You should know. Yeah, I told you so. Avadi my head. No. Why you look like that? Now what did I just say? Run the track back. That's you should know. But if you did, you wouldn't be claiming this, bro. My ancestors were West African.
I think NanoCon's done a great job of facilitating a sense of community. I think
The nurses, the paramedics.
I say prove it, boo. If you Hebrew, then what did I just say to you?
I only talk about my atheism when it comes up, but I live my humanism every day. I only talk.
A tremendous event, well organized, well implemented. The people have been pressured.
Did I just say? Yeah, I thought so. I said, what you gonna do? Can you break it down? Or can you post a clue?
Hell yeah. So that should, I've never been myself, but I've heard almost exclusively good things, and now I'm going to be, participating in 2 workshops. So I realize there's a bunch of people in multiple workshops, but I'm still taking credit for helping to produce 10% of the total workshops.
And I'm on one panel. I'm lazy. I'm also doing some comedy the night before, so that should be fun.
Okay, yeah.
Also, Deep State Annex, very quickly. Hoe gaat het met het Nederlands, Liane?
The what now? Oh, learning Dutch. Okay.
I happen to speak fluent Dutch. It's the most useful second language that I've ever had, but because just about everybody I've met who speaks Dutch also speaks English, and when I would say something in Dutch, they would respond in English, and I'm like, that's not how I want to work. But it's a fun language. It really is. Good on you for learning.
I get that. I took a few years of German. It didn't go super well, and when I met Peter from Gonna Go For It, I was like, I tried a little bit of German because it's like Dutch is kind of like halfway between English and German, but not really, but kind of. And he was like, please don't ever do that again.
Yeah. Love it.
Which is valid. Oh, goodness. Miranda could be escaping from the hospital finally. As we mentioned at the top of the show, she's been in there for a couple of weeks now, having multiple surgeries. Not a great time. There's a GoFundMe. It's linked in the side chat. It's pinned. It's in the description down below. Please help if you can. Please share the link if you can't. But anything you can do is very, very helpful. And we all appreciate it, because this is what communities do, folks. And I said it earlier. It's still true. It literally warms my heart that we've helped make such a big difference over these past couple of weeks. Like this fundraiser has gone better than any 3 fundraisers I've been in put together my entire time on YouTube. It's been really fucking cool. And I'm glad we were able to do some good, Now, speaking of good, Let's hear about this con man guy.
People are like, yeah, I'll buy whatever you're selling.
So he goes to the 1893 Chicago World's Fair, where the Tartarian civilization ended.
That's right.
And when he was there, he kind of struck gold because he figured out how he was going to do his sideshow. And so this was the first place he ever did it. What he did is he brought a live rattlesnake with him, and he pulled it out of the vat. And he's like, look what I have. And everyone's like, that's a rattlesnake. And then
Look what's in my hands. A rattlesnake.
I have here a list of snakes or something. So this Clark dude who looks like the Santa Claus from the claymation movie, or the snowman character, whatever. He's decided he's gonna market the snake oil because it's gone so viral with the railroad people. So he goes to the World's Fair. He brings a rattlesnake, which seems safe. What happens now?
No, worse, a child.
And then he killed the rattlesnake in front of them. And then he put it in a vat, and he made snake oil right in front of them. And everyone was like, oh my gosh, I've never seen it.
So he's just at the World's Fair. hot snake oil. Get your snake oil over here. Do your
He didn't milk the rattlesnake. He didn't juice the rattlesnake. He just used a slap chop and made stew with the rattlesnake. So he could have used any freaking snake.
This sounds like Jilly Juice, but worse, honestly. Like,
they're not entirely unrelated.
I mean, floating in it, yeah.
that's why we're here, because I'm like, Jilly Juice is basically just a new snake oil. And if you missed it, we covered that the first part of today's show. Wowzers, it's if you need to live 400 years, regrow a limb and reverse the gay, that's apparently an option. No guarantees of success, but it's there. Holy shit.
Your best hot dog voice for a ballpark.
Hot dog, get your hot dog.
Is that real? Is that real?
That's what I'm doing, yeah. You want
to do another run, or do you want to
No, I'm sticking.
All right.
I feel good.
Yacht dog. Hey, yacht dog.
Now leave in the comments who you would spend $10 for a hot dog on. Left guy or right guy? Just say left guy, right guy. Left guy, right guy.
Is it their left or our left? Like, even that is confusing. I don't know.
Fat guy or fat guy? Is he? We're both fat.
Did they have hot dogs at the 1894 Chicago World's Fair?
They might have. It is Chicago after all. I think Chicago was founded on hot dogs. We built this city on processed meat.
At least the rebuilt city, anyway, after the fire. The fire happened because they were grilling hot dogs. Probably.
Left guy, hot.
Left guy,
butt hot.
Right guy, hot.
Hot.
Don't put a question mark.
Don't put a question mark on that hot. Don't put a question mark on
So he's making it at the thing, is what I'm saying.
Yeah. Right in front of
I hope someone's going to counselor today. I don't even care, dude. I don't even care. I don't even care.
Speaking of counselors, oh my god.
This person's over here being like,
I need to tell you.
I just feel so overwhelmed with yacht dog. Who wants a yacht dog?
Yacht dog. No, speaking of counselors, I need to tell you what I did yesterday.
We only know if the counselor's here if the sound machine is on. I'm going to tell you right now, that sound machine's not going.
That sound machine's not.
This 40-minute episode could be a 10-minute show. They edited this. Like, I get there's room for banter, there's room for comedy. There's also room for members-only content, you know? Like, I don't know. Maybe I picked the wrong video to try to get to a point. I'm very silly sometimes. I'll skip ahead a bit.
And they got this new thing. They got an iPad in the lobby. Check it on the iPad. You pick your counselor and you type your name in. That's check-in, right?
Sure.
And so I'm sitting there, and I don't know what it is in my brain, but I was like, I wonder, Todd, just a simple.
You're like, that's so funny.
No, it wasn't funny. I wasn't trying to be funny. I was trying to find out.
I'm trying to be funny.
I was just trying to find out. I'm just like Todd, just to see. And so then I sit down, and my therapist usually gets out there pretty quick. And she peeks in, and she's like, "Hey, can I ask you something?" This thing. She's like, the machine. It said someone checked in, but it didn't say Tim. It said Todd.
Because in her head, she's like, "Why did you do that?"
No.
Why?
I was like, "Yeah," and she's like, "Well, the last couple of weeks, I kind of had a little bit of a Facebook stalker."
I've learned so much about snake oil at this point.
I just Like during the break, I opened up the transcript and I found where they talked about the World's Fair to jump ahead to get to the actual story. And that was it. They said the one sentence about the World's Fair, and now we're on about therapists and this and that. And it's like, maybe, as I often say, we work way too hard. We really do. Because as much as I'm prone to tangents, I at least make it a point to talk about the thing the show is about, like I'll do my tangent and then I'll talk about the thing. Apparently you don't even have to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You can just be like, yeah, we started, fuck it, we're on therapist now,
I mean, the Dollop kind of does this, but they at least keep the skits, like brief.
I don't know. We may never find out the legend of the great. Oh shit. Yeah. Well, Tommy says skipping in 10-second chunks doesn't make it less coherent. Right? Like we can jump from thing to thing and it's not any worse, actually. It's fucking weird. Oh goodness. All right. So I just
did find a poster for this thing.
History of snake oil. This is how I found these resources in the first place, but you know what? Whatever. Okay, pharmaceutical journal. We're doing some actual looking things up now. And yeah. So the term snake oil. I'll use my reading voice. The term snake oil is used to describe any worthless pseudo-medical remedy promoted as a cure for various illnesses. By extension, snake oil salesmen are charlatans who sell such fraudulent goods. My goodness, I could get all up in my vapors on this one.
Sounds very Lady Whistledown, honestly.
In 19th century America, snake oil was commonly promoted as a cure-all. It was supposedly produced by boiling rattlesnakes and skimming off the oil that rose to the surface. Okay, it's the oil from boiling the snake. So it doesn't have to be like a rattlesnake, whatever, but it's the oil up on top. Cool. That's where it comes from. Now we know. We learned more in 30 seconds than we did in the last 30 minutes. It's fine now. It was sometimes prepared this way. Hucksters found it cheaper and easier to just substitute other oils, which makes sense. Sales of alleged rattlesnake oil continued into the 20th century. In 1915, the U.S. government ordered the analysis of a well-known product, Clark Stanley's snake oil liniment. Clark being the one who started the whole trend thing at the World's Fair that they were just not quite talking about. The analyst found that its main constituents were a light mineral oil, a petroleum product, mixed with about 1% of fatty oil, probably beef fat, capsicum? That, yes. And possibly a trace of camphor and turpentine, because you got to get that turpentine smell so you know that the goo is working. Since the product contained no snake-derived oil, Stanley was taken to court. Fucking hell, I can't talk. English is hard, folks. Stanley was taken to court, found guilty of misbranding and misrepresenting the product, and was fined $20, which is the equivalent of $430 in 2015 when this article was written, or about 1.5 billion today.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, since Clark's formulation was not unlike modern day capsaicin-based liniments and chest rubs, it was probably of more use than genuine rattlesnake oil, which has not been shown to have any health benefits. I guess the omega-3s don't work when topically applied, or whatever. Fucking hell.
The poor rattlesnakes are just like, what did I do?
So the history comes in. These notions would have been reinforced in the 1840s when many Chinese laborers arrived to help build the Transcontinental Railroad. Now, to be clear, The Chinese arrived, and then they became laborers on the Transcontinental Railroad. They didn't come over to work on the railroad. That's where the jobs were at the time, because nobody would hire them. You know, racism was a thing in the US back then. You might have noticed we were about to fight a big old fucking war about it. Nobody wanted to hire the Chinese. There were too many of them. Oh, the great replacement, rah, 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 all that crap. But the railroads would. And so they got jobs on the railroads because that was the place that would hire them. They didn't come to work on the railroad. Holy shit.
Thankfully, we don't do that today at all.
Transcontinental was not 1840s. They may have been building railroads that eventually got incorporated into the Transcontinental, but famously, the Golden Spike thing was in the 1860s, after the war. Was it after the war? Am I brain glitching? Let's look it up. When was the Golden Spike? 1869. I'm not as think as you drunk I am. It was after the war. I'm not actually drunk. I'm drinking coffee, folks. I'm always. Oh, I love
Irish coffee. Am I right?
Well, that's an idea. My goodness. I should have a coffee sponsorship. I should. I don't know if it would do any good, but I'd be happier. Okay. So the point of the story, the traditional medicine, the oil from the Chinese water snake, which is a black-banded sea crate, apparently, which in traditional Chinese medicine had been used for centuries as an anti-inflammatory agent to treat arthritis, bursitis, and other joint pains. These laborers may have offered snake oil to fellow workers as relief for enduring long days of physical effort. Modern-day research suggests that Chinese water snake oil may have indeed have health benefits because of its high content of omega-3 fatty acids. In 1989, an analysis of snake oil bought in San Francisco's Chinatown found that it contained 20% icosapentaenoic acid. I'm sure I nailed that one, which is more than is found in popular omega-3 foods such as salmon.
But as much
Omega-3.
as in sardines?
Sardines, you say? Perhaps. And now it goes on about omega-3s for a bit.
Also, I put in the thing down there, I found one of the posters on Wikipedia. You can throw that up, but...
Oh, okay. Boop. Hey, look at that.
Oh, man. Good for man and beast.
Giggity,
Good for
giggity.
everything
Well,
a limit ought to be good for. It's good for everything it can be good for.
So it wasn't actually a scam in the way we think of it today. Like it wasn't, he was a huckster selling it because it didn't actually do anything, but it wasn't like Jilly Juice is just bullshit to fuck people over, you know? Like he had no way of knowing that the American rattlesnake had different properties than the Chinese water snake, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So as far as he could tell, he was making snake oil and just using the local snakes. But it was the
but also
to him, it seemed like it was the same thing.
Yeah, but also by analysis, they said that it didn't contain any snake oil at all. So he must have gotten like lazy at some point and just been like, "Yeah, sure, I got oil."
Probably. Maybe he got homeopathic about it. He was like, "What if I put half as much snake oil?" Because you know these things are selling like hotcakes, and we're getting low on snakes. We're having to like pay people to go bring us snakes and shit, hunt them down and whatever. What if we used half as much snake oil? And then the next year, what if we used half as much snake oil? And by the time you get to the end of the century, there isn't even snake oil in there.
Yep.
Say, Lovey, it works just as well, though.
Oh my god.
Alrighty.
That is just
we solved that
insane.
mystery, and it turns out Jilly Juice is even more of a scam than actual snake oil. Amazing.
Well, at least Jilly Juice contains actual cabbage feces. Like, that's that's the one thing it has going for it. The rest of it is pretty much certain death. Also, I'll never forget, my mom was very much into this wellness thing, still is probably. I haven't talked to her. But she once, when I went over to go visit, she had a big ass bottle of homeopathic snake venom extract, like sitting on her counter. And I was like, why? Because it still had the price tag. I was like $30 or some shit. I was just like, why? And she goes, oh, it's really good stuff. They sold it on there. It's homeopathic, so you know it's good. She was a big believer in homeopathy. And she's like, and like, you can even eat it if you want to, but I use it to like rub it on my joints and everything. I was like, Mom, this is literal snake oil. It says so on the label. Like, there is a snake and it's telling you what it is. Why? Just why? So, yeah, it still gets sold today. Like, people still fall for it. But, alternative medicine that works. Alternative medicine that works is usually called medicine.
Right.
Yeah.
I know.
So I'm
we
just
should
like,
go into business since our nation is in this convention of naming things dumber and dumber things for lowest common denominator marketing. We should just start a pharmacy called Placebo Corporation.
I have a $1 billion idea.
Cure anything. They only have a 50% chance of working, but they might work.
I have a $1 billion idea, actually. We were talking about the raw milk earlier. We could start a service to heat up people's raw milk just to a certain point, just to make sure that it kills all the bacteria in it, and then give their milk back to them. And we can call it, like, I don't know, debacterialization or something. And yeah, just make a business doing that.
I don't think that's actually wrong. Like, okay, there's a couple different possibilities. The first is to use filters to filter out the bacteria, and all the enzymes and molecules would still go through because enzymes and molecules are much smaller than whole bacteria. So you could do it that way and it'd still be raw, just filtered. Or you could actually do a slightly different process than pasteurs, and you'd effectively pasteurize it, but it's a different process technically. So, like you said, call it debacterialization, and it's not even a scam because it is a different process technically.
Yep. But they could have saved a lot of time and money by just getting it from the store that way in the first place.
Hell yeah. Oh, we need more patents, folks. Hey, if you want to help us get silly patents for $1 billion ideas, do remember to support your favorite creators, super chats, support on Patreon, memberships. There's a whole bunch of things. There's ways to help this channel in the description. I'm out of spell slots for capitalism for today, though, folks. It's been a fun show, but like it's been a little bit frustrating, all the digging we had to do to like get the knowledge we're looking for. I understand why I needed a week off, Oh my goodness. All right, before we go, once again, I'll steal that page from Maya. And because different people are here now than were in the beginning, do tell everybody what you do, where to find you, and all that good stuff.
Sure. Chad Harris, Archradish on all of the social medias, ARCHRADISH. It's Chad Harris mixed up if you get confused about it. I talk about Christian fundamentalism. I talk about cults, specifically the IBLP, the Shiny Happy People cult, as it were, because I'm in that series too. You can find me on TikTok. You can find me on Instagram. You can find me on everyone else's podcast. And you can see me at NanoCon later this year, at DragonCon later this year in Atlanta, and at Rocket City ReasonCon later this year in Huntsville, Alabama. Got a lot of stuff coming up, and I will probably be doing some more YouTube stuff coming up, so look for me on there. But cannot thank Ember enough for inviting me on. This has been a lot of fun. First time on this show, and I feel like I learned something. And I feel like I need to go check my medicine cabinet and make sure I don't have anything from my cult days. is embarrassing.
I mean, I'm sure we learned something. I'm not sure I can articulate quite what the thing is, but also thank you for coming. I literally, so Maya announced that she couldn't do today's show yesterday, and I was like, of very lovers. And so I knew the topic because like I said in the beginning, Jess had just made me aware of Jelly Juice being a thing. I'm like, we're doing pseudoscience. It's perfect for this time slot because this is the pseudoscience time slot. And you know, once again, Maya approves. This is, I have a note, this has been signed off on, but I'm like, I know so many friends who would be so good at pseudoscience, but what I need is someone who will be able to help me mock shit where nobody understands what's going on. I'm like, Chad, are you busy?
I don't have a whole lot of knowledge myself, but I can make fun of blatant lack of knowledge.
It's an adventure every time. Oh, goodness. So thank you all so much for joining. This is not the usual show I do and not the usual time slot I do it. Normally, I'm doing things like human rights advocacy or deep history or science and philosophy, counter-apologetics, countering conspiracy theories, and other assorted things like that, but with a lot of tangents like you saw today. If you're into that sort of thing, do make sure you're subscribed. And as always, fuck ICE, abolish and process. Thanks to all our patrons and top-level members for May, Miranda, Karen Butcher, Jimmy Tux, Ian Chen, Maya Adkisson, Robin Webster, Lilith, Ember Lynn, The Barely Bearable Atheist, Eric Wander, Jason Jacoby, Lil of All Trades, Deviant Outcast, Thriver Scapegoat, Katie Bluebird, Noise Ending, The Godless Engineer, Secular Feelinist, and Elira the Free. And you can add your name here next month by signing up at patreon.com/betterthanember or by joining Emberships here on YouTube at the Cinder level, which also includes all the custom emojis, tons of member-exclusive content, member-only live streams, and a bunch of other stuff. I deeply appreciate all the supporters who keep this channel going. Thank you so much. Because of you, we're building a wonderful community that I'm very proud of.